Morning and welcome to Mindful Movement with AARP Alabama. I am your host, Margie Curry, and this morning we are again with our fabulous certified yoga instructor, Becca Impello, who has been practicing and teaching yoga for more than 20 years. We want to remind you that AARP empowers people to choose how they live as they age. AARP is a nonpartisan 501c4 organization that has over 420,000 members in Alabama. AARP's role is to advocate for those who are 50 plus and their families. AARP is committed to offering opportunities for people to stay engaged from your homes. The Mindful Movement series provides opportunities for you to keep moving in your own home. All right, we're going to get started with a challenging session today. Becca.
Hey there, Margie. Margie is ready to move. She's
Yay!
moving. Maybe some spring fever going on, Margie.
Maybe.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to sort of try to get a jump start on that spring. Think about just ways to get your body kind of ready for those walks outside
Right.
that might be in your future, and just keep everything moving. Yeah.
That sounds great. Now, everybody, we want you to please remember that you need to check with your physician before you begin any kind of participation in a program to see if you're physically capable of participating. Make sure that you check with your doctors and make sure that you have the right information going for you. We don't want you to be hurt. All
Mm-hmm.
right, Becca, take it away.
All right. All right, folks, let's do what Margie said. Let's keep it moving. So we're going to start seated in our chair. This just makes it possible for all of us to participate at whatever level you need to participate today. So you can stay in your chair as much as you want. We'll have some opportunities to get out of it, and I hope that you'll do that if you're able. We'll still use the chair as a prop for some of that standing stuff as well. So let's sit up tall in our chair. And maybe close your eyes and let's just take a first moment before we begin moving to just be in stillness for an observation of your body. I want you just to notice how it feels right now. What do you feel in your body? Maybe the body's kind of quiet, not telling you much. Maybe there's some places that have some louder signals that are sending you some information. But just take a few moments to connect with your body. See if you can feel your feet on the floor. Feel your bottom on the seat of the chair. Feel your spine rising up tall all the way to the crown of the head. And then place a hand on your heart or your chest. Place another hand on your belly, your abdomen. And let's take a few deep breaths here. Breath is movement also, not the kind of movement we think about for exercise necessarily, but still it's a movement within the body. So let's see if we can take a bigger breath in. Full breath out. A couple more of those deep breaths. One more like that. All right, and then let those hands drop into your lap or down to your side. We're going to do just a nice body warm-up. We're going to get everything moving with a little initial something or other, and then we'll do some things like Margie said that maybe are a little more potentially challenging if you choose. All right, so let's start with that head turning right and left. And all these movements that I'm going to suggest, that I'm going to cue for you to make, everybody has to choose how big of a motion are you making? How far are you turning your head? You know, you get to make that choice for everything we do, right? So it's in your hands, you know, and you can control, you know, how much movement you make and do what's right for your body. All right, now let's bring that chin to the center and drop it down to the chest. And then give that head sort of a little roll forward and up to one shoulder. And then back forward and down to the chest, across and up to the other shoulder. And just keep rolling that head side to side. Good. Now back to the chest and lift that head up. Now let's move on down to the shoulders. Let's make some nice shoulder rolls. This is one of my favorite movements to incorporate throughout the day, right? So that you keep your body moving, even if you're not, doing something real active like going for a walk or doing an exercise class. You can still put movement into your day by doing simple things such as these shoulder rolls. If you've been sitting for a while watching TV or working at your computer, try just a few big shoulder rolls to get some things moving in your upper back. All right, now arms down at your sides. Let's take a nice sweep of the arms out and up, and then back down. And you're going as far as you feel comfortable raising those arms. Maybe it's all the way overhead. Maybe it's somewhere else. Sit up tall. Try to get a little length or stretch in the spine. 3 more sweeps of the arms out and up and back down. One more time. Now let those hands come to your head. It could be the top of your head or the back of your head, or as another option, maybe across the chest, right? And let's take it side to side, leaning the body, the trunk right and left. Still trying to be nice and tall in the center. Starting to warm up our trunk, our spine here with this side to side movement. Bring it back to center. Again, you can leave your hands here on your head. You could put them on your chest, or you could take them out to the side if you want. And we're going to turn. Bring it back to center. Turn the other way. Back to center. Turn. Good. One more. And come back into the middle. Let those hands drop into your lap. All right, now we'll move down to the pelvis or the hips. I want you to roll back, sort of our slumpy kind of position, and then roll forward. Roll back. So I'm rolling on my seat, my sitting bones, rocking that pelvis, and that's the lower back, especially in and out of some rounding, and then forward for a little bit of arching. Get about 3 more. Rocking that pelvis back and forth. All right, now let's move it on down to the legs and get them warmed up, and then we'll change positions if you want with me, and we'll get moving on our feet. All right, let's start with a marching here. Feel free to hold on to your chair if you want a little more stability. If you're ready to move a little more or work a little harder, take your arms out and up. I'm trying to lift my leg without leaning or rolling back. I'm trying to just stay up nice and straight and tall. All right, now let's take these legs and go out to the side. All right, and then you can drop the arms down. Let's bring the knees towards the middle and then open them back up. So again, whatever amount of movement you can make here in this position, let's get those hips rotating a little bit. All right, and then walk those feet together, knees together, and then we open and close again in this position. So a little bit different, but still some more rotating, warming up of those hip joints. All right, and now down to the knees and feet. Let's bend and straighten one knee here a few times. Pay attention. How does that knee feel? Is it stiff or tight or painful? Keep moving it, but, maybe your movement's a little smaller or a little slower. Give it a little more time to warm up. All right, switch feet or switch legs, switch knees. Bend and straighten on that other side. Good. All right, now let's go back to the first leg. Bring that foot out and let's circle the ankle. This is another great one to do throughout the day, especially if you have a bit of a sedentary lifestyle, for whatever reason that might be. You can still do some movement, even if maybe you're not able to get up and going on your feet a lot. Circle your ankles every hour or two. Let's switch sides. Great way to keep things circulating, blood flow in your legs. Reduce maybe swelling if your feet or ankles tend to swell. This could be helpful. All right, now let's go ahead and stand up. All right, so we're going to use that chair for our support for a couple of things here. Thought we do, just a round or two of sun salutations to start with in the chair. Now, I've shown these before down to the ground. So if you prefer to not use the chair and do these sun salutations, up and down from the floor, you could certainly do that if you want to. All right. So we'll face the chair, stand up nice and tall. And then let's reach up. Take a deep breath in. Maybe look up and stretch up. And then bend your knees and fold it forward. Let those hands come down to the chair. Or you could be going down to the floor if you want. And then lift up a little bit. Let's flatten the back, straightening the arms, maybe straightening the legs. And then fold it back in. And then stepping forward with the left leg, stepping back with the right leg into a lunge position. Hands down on the chair, or maybe they're down on the floor if you're doing this in a low position. And take a few breaths here. Feel that reach of the back leg, push into the front leg. All right, and then we'll step back with both feet. This is our downward dog shape, right? So a big stretch for the arms, into the spine, into the legs. You can have bent knees here. That's okay. You can maybe shift in and out of those knees, bending one, straightening the other, back and forth. All right, now here comes a push-up or a plank position. So shifting forward until my body gets in a nice, straight line. Okay, it's a diagonal line, not parallel to the ground, but still a straight line. Pushing through strong, straight arms and just holding here for a couple of breaths. All right, and then push those hips back a little bit so it's easier to step the other foot forward. So step it right into that lunge on the other side, pushing into that back leg, that back foot, reaching for the ground. Even if it doesn't touch the ground at your heel, just reach it that direction. All right, and then step it back in. Come into that flatter back where you lift up the chest. And then soften the knees and fold it down. Sit back into those hips for chair pose. Get your balance. See if you can bring those arms up. And then come all the way up tall, reaching for the ceiling, maybe even arching back a little bit. And then bringing those hands to the heart. Pause here. Take another breath, a moment just to check in. Notice what you're feeling in your body. And let's do one more round of those. Inhale and reach up and fold it down. Lift back up and fold it down. Let's try to step back with the other leg first. So switching which side we do, on the lunge at the beginning. Maybe this time experiment with moving a little bit, bending and straightening that front knee in and out of that lunge position. All right, now we transition, step it into the downward dog. Push those hips back, lengthen out through those arms. You decide how far to go. You decide whether you keep those knees bent. Here comes that plank position. You'd always skip it if it wasn't a great position for your shoulders or your wrists, right? You could stay in that downward dog a little longer if you wanted to. Good. All right. Transition by pushing the hips back for a moment and then step the other leg in for that lunge. And when you're set and ready, you could have tried making some movement, straightening and bending at that front knee. All right, now let's step it back in towards the chair. We come back to our flat back and then fold and then down into chair pose. My strong pose here, strong legs, arms up in front, maybe at the chest or out in front. And then rise all the way up. And bring the hands to the heart. Pause, take another moment, just checking in, seeing how it feels to be moving. All right, we're gonna stay standing. If you wanna have your chair for some support, for balance sake, turn around or walk around it so that you can stand behind the chair and you can just touch it as needed, all right? So let's come up on tippy toes and then drop back down on the heels. Up on the toes, so you might choose to keep holding on here. You might want to let go. All right, about 3 more like this. Then we're going to change it up a little. Still work with those feet, but do the pattern a little bit different. All right, so try coming up onto the balls of your feet and then doing a little shift so that one heel drops while the other stays up, and then come up on both and drop the other side. And so it gives us a little bit of a rhythm, right? A little bit of a shift from side to side. And you can shift the hip a little bit, get a little more movement in here. Again, you might be holding on, you might be letting go. All right, last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now pick up one foot and give that foot a circle, that foot and ankle. Again, great place to check your balance or challenge your balance by letting go. Let's do the other leg. Pick it up, circle that foot and ankle. Good. All right, now big step back with one leg. Lift up through the chest. You can hold on as needed, as always. Maybe bring those arms both up. And then we're going to pull back and twist to one side. And then back to the front, twist to the other side. And just see, they should feel a little different because one side, has got that leg forward. The other side has the leg back. If I was holding on, it might look like this, taking one arm and twisting while the other keeps touch on the chair. Good. Now face forward, straighten that front leg. And let's bend forward again. Maybe hold on. The length or the stretch in your hamstring on that leg that's in front is probably what you're going to feel as you bend over that leg, trying to keep that knee straight. So you're taking whatever stretch feels right for you. Good, and then step it on in. Let's switch sides. So start with the front knee bent, chest up. We'll do that same twist. Turn and reach the arm back on one side, and then turn and reach it back on the other side. Good, couple more times. Last one. Face forward, straighten that front knee, keep your spine nice and straight, fold forward, stop when you feel the stretch on the back of that leg. All right, and then come on up, shift it forward. Take a moment here to just stand. And again, just notice the sensation in your body. Maybe you feel some things in the legs right now after doing that work. See what you notice. All right, now a little stretch for the legs, these front thigh muscles. I'm going to just do a little kicking. Bend your knee, try to bring your heel up towards your bottom. So this also works the knee joints. Again, you might be holding on, you might be choosing not to hold on. All right, now you can keep this going, or you can pause and see if you can catch your foot with your hand. Now that doesn't work for everybody because sometimes the knee just doesn't go that far. But if you can grab that foot, give it a try. Give yourself some stretch on that front thigh muscle, the quadriceps muscles. All right, release it and maybe try the other side. All right, release that. Now let's step the feet out wide. Now I'm going to turn towards the camera here, away from my chair, but you could stay facing the chair if you wanted to. You could have that chair, again, for some stability or some balance help. So with those legs out wide, let's try a side to side shifting. Moving more for these inner and outer aspects of the legs, the hips. All right, now let's stay more centered and fold forward. I'm folding right at those creases of the hips, keeping my spine nice and straight. Again, giving a little stretch for the backs of the legs and the inner thighs. Okay, about 3 more. Last one. All right, now turning the toes a little more out, the heels a little more in. So I've just rotated my thighs, my knees a little bit out. Now we'll take it into what's sometimes called the yoga goddess squat. So it's a squat with those wide legs, knees open. And if you want, if you're not holding on to the chair, try adding these arms, pulling back. So squeezing my shoulder blades down and back, squeezing my elbows in, pushing the knees out. And then let's move with this. Margie requested movement today, so we'll go up, reach, pull back into that squat, sit, reach up, pull down. Remember, your movements might be smaller or bigger. Okay, let's do 3 more of these. 2. Last one. Good. Now, take those feet and turn them back to the front. And we'll do one more thing here standing, and then we'll come back to the chair to kind of wind things down. So another movement practice. If you need that support from the chair, remember maybe stand with the chair in front of you so you can hold on or touch with one hand or the other. Let's try taking it to a side stretch. And then the other way. If you don't want to take this full arm movement, you could keep the hands, on the chair or at the chest, and you can still be making some movement with your body by leaning the torso side to side. Okay, last 4, 3, 2, and 1. And back to center. Now walk those feet together. Let's take one more moment here while we're standing just to check in. What do you notice in your body? How does it feel after doing some of this movement? All right, we'll sit down now to finish out. We'll do a few more movement things we can do from seated. Let's start with the neck, doing a little bit of movement and gentle stretching for the neck. So I want you to turn your head one direction and then drop that chin down towards that collarbone. Good, and then pick the chin up, drop it down to the collarbone, pick it up, drop it down. 2 more, up and down. And then bring it up back to the center. Turn the other way. Tuck the chin or drop the chin and bring it up, down, up, down. Good. And then bring it back to center. Now we'll do it a little different. Tilt your head over to the side. So don't start with turning, but tilt the ear down. And then think about the chin now rotating down, rotating up, rotating down, rotating up. Good, and then chin down, bring the whole head up. Other side, tilt that ear towards the shoulder and then rotate the chin down. And the chin back forward and up, down, and up. Good, and then head back to center, take another pause, check on how that feels. Then we're going to finish with a nice mobilization for the upper back and the shoulders. It's also a nice way to sort of give yourself a little congratulations or a little, pat on the back, so to speak, for moving today. So take a deep breath in and reach the arms out, and then give yourself a hug. Really squeeze tight. Walk those hands around that upper back as far as you can go. Take a deep breath into that space between your shoulder blades. Maybe just wiggle a little bit side to side if that feels good. Now, I do want you to notice which arm is on top right now, right or left. And then open back up. Big breath in, stretch out. And then bring the arms across the chest again, but the other arm on top. Again, give yourself that tight hug. And breathe deep into that upper back. Feel free to move a little bit. And then open up one more time. And then relax the arms down or into your lap. Let's take a hand to the heart, a hand to the belly like we did at the beginning. Just check in. Is the buzz under your hands a little different? Do you feel, maybe a little more just activity in your body or on your skin from our movement practice? Take a couple of deep breaths here at the end. Breathe in fully. Take that movement into your body. One more deep breath like that. And then hands together at the heart. Bow the head, just in gratitude for this opportunity to move your body with AARP of Alabama. We're so glad you joined us today. We hope you feel good moving your body, and you can come and move with us every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Central Time.
Thank you, Becca. I enjoyed that big hug today.
Good.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And we look forward to you joining us again on Tuesdays for Mindful Movement. Thanks and have a great week, everybody.
Bye, everybody.